All right, I'm glad everybody's here. We're going to kind of work through this process, give everybody a chance to talk about what they are currently recycling. I learn a lot from these things to be able to talk to you all and get ideas about how I can expand my recycling program, or just do more events and how to do them and what works out great for you. And at the same time, tell us what did not work out great for you, so that, yes, we can learn what we shouldn't do as well. So I've probably got a few of those myself. So as Ellen mentioned, I'm Tracy Horst. I'm with the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. We've had a recycling program for about 12 years now. We started with an employee contest to educate employees on what recycling was all about. And then from that, it was a decorating contest. And then from that, we went from decorating contest to a contest for what department could accumulate the most. So, we got all kinds of people that started getting involved and started calling. And even after it was over, the awareness was raised to a level where people could go, did you know, I looked at my pool chemical this weekend and I can recycle my pool chemical container. So it kept people going and it kept people engaged. So from that, we kept going, and we've done it a couple of times since then. We go into the schools and we talk about recycling. We have the ability to do basically all types of paper, shredded paper, mixed paper, whether it's junk mail or anything along those lines, newspapers, cardboard boxes. Everybody loves to recycle their cardboard boxes, and I'm thankful that they do. I hope at some point we've got a marketing campaign. We lost some business after COVID coming back, so we didn't have quite as much activity. So we decided to start pushing more information out to kind of get us back up to speed. We do aluminum, we do tin cans, we do plastics 1s, 2s, 5s, we do 2s and 4s, I believe, with film and plastic bags. And then we do styrofoam, and we have tires, we do thermostats. And every year at Christmas, we do use toy drive. So those toys, there's a lot of people out there that have access to Toys for Tots. There's a lot of people in southeastern Oklahoma where we are that don't have access to Toys for Tots. So this allows a lot of moms, dads, grandparents to go clean out their kids' toy box. And the kids get involved with it usually. And it's one of those things of Santa's coming and he's bringing you stuff. So let's give your stuff to other boys and girls who might not get as much as you do. And so they kind of explain that to them. And then we have helped over, I think last year we helped over 400 kids be able to have a Christmas that might not be able to get Christmas otherwise. So it's a great activity, and it gets kids and parents both involved, and we call them gently loved. So the first child loved them, and I bet the second or third child will love them just as much. So then we're doing drugs and ammunition through our tribal police. So that's probably one of those things a lot of you get to do. And then we do blankets, rugs, and towels for the local animal shelters. So it's great to do this time of year, and that allows them to be able to do to stay warm and keep towels and not have to spend money. So I'm trying to figure out what the best way is to do this. And I think I'm just going to kind of run through. If somebody's wants to raise their hand, we can go by hand raising first. Or I will just, there you go, Megan. All right, go for it.
Well, I'm never afraid to raise my hand anyway. In McAllister, we have drop-off recycling, have yet to get to curbside, but we are ever hopeful and continue to pursue that every chance we get. At our drop-off location, we take number 1 and 2 plastic, aluminum cans, paperboard, paper, cardboard, and we stopped taking glass last year, I'm sad to say. We find what we end up doing is citizens will take a load in their pickup up to Dublock and Okmulgee just to drop off, just because they really, really, really want to recycle glass. We work with the Choctaw Nation, I'm happy to say, and hopefully we'll continue a really good relationship. We have existed, Keep McAllister Beautiful, that I speak of. We exist as an affiliate, of course, of Keep Oklahoma Beautiful, and a partner with Choctaw Nation and the city of McAllister. And we started because there were citizens who wanted recycling in McAllister. So that's how our organization ever came to be. So We are absolutely, we don't run the recycling center, but we promote it. And as a matter of fact, our phone number and our information is what pops up if someone searches on the internet, McAllister Recycling, that comes to our phone number and our information. So we do as much as we can with that, and hopefully we'll continue to do better.
Awesome. Thanks, Megan. We do appreciate the partnership with McAllister. They do a great job. All right. Anybody else want to volunteer? I'm not afraid to ask you by name, so I'll give you a shot before I volunteer you. About links. Tell us about yourself, where you're from, and what you guys recycle. Or if you're not recycling currently and hope to, tell us that too.
I work for the Electronics Energy Foundation. We're an e-waste recycler. We have worked with you all. We did some stuff back in the spring. We work with Megan as well a little bit. We come down and all from McAllister. So what we do is we recycle all kinds of e-waste. So not just computers, cell phones, but we also take electronic toys that are old, all kinds of batteries. We get lawnmowers. We get, if it's got a cord or a battery, we will pretty well take it and find a place to send it. Now, one way that we fund us, because we are a nonprofit and we don't take any kind of grants, is we have a small store. We also donate lots of working products out to other nonprofits and churches when they come to us. So recently we've gotten to work with the Tarleton Fire Department. We just hooked them up with a new computer for training. I've gotten to work with Divis and donate computers for clients going back to school. Different projects like that, which is a lot of fun. I love that part of my job. But then I also get to do a lot of education. I work with Girl Scouts, so recycling is a huge part of using our resources wisely and talking to them about what I do. And I work with everything from daisies up to cadets. So that's just kind of what we do. I'm able to work it into everything I do these days. So
that's the best way to do it. Don't be bashful. That's awesome. And I think it's great that you're working from daisies to cadets, because that's our future, and they will make a difference with their grandparents and their parents and aunts, uncles. So good job. Thanks. All right. Anybody else? All right, Jeff, how about you? Tell us about yourself and where you're from and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Jeff. I work at the Department of Environmental Quality. I work in the solid waste division. I work with landfills primarily, permitting. I'm just kind of here to listen in and get the perspective from you guys who are actually working at the recycling facilities, just trying to learn how I can be a better recycler.
What is your most challenging thing to be able to recycle?
I don't know. I would say probably plastic bags and packaging. Mixed packaging materials.
Plastic bags can be a challenge.
Yep.
I didn't think about it yesterday when we were talking about contamination and things. But yeah, the grocery stores, I think everybody mentioned that yesterday, are a great place to be able to do plastic bags.
Yeah.
There's sometimes they get full and you have to try a couple of times. But the other thing that I thought of too, people were talking about the challenges with glass, and Target has a program now where you can actually take your glass bottles to Target and they will recycle them for you. So I probably look like a crazy drunk lady every now and then, because I'll walk in with like 2 or 3 bottles of empty wine bottles, but it's better than going to the landfill. So they can judge if they want to, but I just don't want to go into the trash. So Jeanette's laughing at me. I know Jeanette understands my pain on that one.
I was going to share that, here at Keep Oklahoma Beautiful, we lend bins out so that if someone's having a street party or a fair or some gathering that they want to recycle at, I confess I have one in my own barn, but they borrow them and they collect bottles and cans, and that's all we accept. But here just on my staff and for this office, we found that we had a need to collect glass. So we actually contracted with Fertile Ground, and they come and pick up our bin of glass every other week. And I have to confess, it's full of a lot of wine bottles.
I'll tell you, for the folks that in McAllister, I take a truckload of glass to do block, as I mentioned. I tell them it's all pickle jars. Whatever you got, it's a pickle jar.
That's great. And to clarify, Jeanette and her barn is not a barn for animals, it's a barn for people. So there's all kinds of events. I've been able to attend a couple of them, so that she does at her barn. So it is a great spot to hang out.
Yeah, it's a fun spot. But so we take all of that aluminum and bottles. The people who borrow the bins for their events or just to keep in their offices and bring us the recycling, Waste Management handles that, and that's sponsored by PepsiCo, and that's just emptied from behind our offices. But we find a lot of contamination in it anyway. The other day, I thought of it too late for the picture contest, but I had the dumpster on its side and crawling inside to pull out because somebody had begun to fill it with paper. So other people were filling it with paper.
Oh,
2/3 full of paper. So I was crawling in there getting all the paper out. But
so you would have won for the funniest category as your feet were coming out of the back of the bin. Is that it?
I know my staffer comes out. He says, "Really, you don't have to do that." Yeah, I do.
I get it. All right. Who else has a recycling program and can tell us what they recycle within their recycling program? Or do you just do events? If you work with events, I was happy to hear from Carrie yesterday about their car seat program. So I'm definitely going to reach out to Hype Plastics and ask about car seats. I was actually just asked again last week. So I'm very happy about that new option for me.
I guess I'll speak. My name is Mary Downs, and I work with the solid waste management plan at Tinker Air Force Base. And we generally try to recycle as much as we can because as an Air Force goal, we want to divert as much solid waste as possible. And currently we try to recycle paper, plastics, scrap metals, batteries, oils, and we also try to recycle our jet fuel that's spent and our calibration fluids that's already used and mixed fuels. That's about it.
What type of plastics do you recycle, Mary? Do you get to do all 7?
Oh no, it's just the general, the standard, not the
1 and 2s.
Yeah, 1 and 2s. That's Trudy.
Yeah,
Trudy.
and we also do cardboard. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's
A
right.
lot of-
Cardboard. We do cardboard. That's right.
And people bring it onto the base, like if they don't live on the base, but they're coming to work, do they have the ability to bring that on, or is it just the stuff that is produced
It's
on the
generally
base?
just stuff on the base, and also, we have tenants, we have people, military people that live on base, so they have access to it also.
We do have a small drop-off site where people can bring on their cardboard, their aluminum cans, tin cans, and plastics. I bring mine to base.
Awesome. Well, Mary, we're glad you're here, and you too, Trudy, and thanks for your input there.
All right.
Do they do any kind of special events at the base as far as electronics and or anything along those lines, or is it basically just the day-to-day activities?
We
It's
have
basically-
never, yeah, oh,
Yeah, go
well, we
ahead.
have
Go
never
ahead,
done
Trudy.
electronics as far as I'm concerned. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mary. We
Um,
have done events for household hazardous waste collections in the past, but they got to be out of control. So since that time, we've got an agreement with Oklahoma City's household hazardous waste facility so that the base residents anyway can take their household hazardous waste to Oklahoma City.
That's great.
Yeah. That might work out better anyway. You don't have to do event.
Yeah, and no mess. Yeah.
Understood. All right, we're down to Zach and David. Do we flip a coin over which one gets to go first?
Great, I can pull over my screen here. Yeah, I'm just on this to better my knowledge on from a consumer standpoint, what I'm missing. As a household, we do our best in what we can do for recycling, but there's always those. We're in the city of Edmonton, so you go to their website and there's some specific rules that you find out. Oh, I've been throwing that in all along, and I really shouldn't have been, or something like that. Kind of like the glass you just mentioned. So I'm glad to hear Target has that. Actually, you can probably hear me better like this. So I'm glad to hear Target has that, because like I said, there's some rules on the Edmond website that I wasn't aware of when we first moved to Edmond 2 years ago. So that I was able to do in Tulsa when I lived in Tulsa. So it's been a fun game trying to learn the ropes to do better for ourselves. So
I think it's a look at it. It's a never-ending challenge for what we can collect, and it's a never-ending challenge of who will take it once we get it collected.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why my wine bottles wind up here at the office, because I live in Edmond and they don't take glass. So.
Yeah. Now it has been handy to have the Walmart plastic bag drop off. That's one thing I knew I couldn't put in the recycling bin ever, and never really knew where to do it until just a few years back when I found out they were doing that. And so,
yeah,
I think they're really trying to make efforts to please everyone and find ways to get a lot of this stuff reused.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank right now. It seems like Target takes like 3 things.
Did we lose Tracy for a moment?
I think so.
Yeah.
I understand it. There you're back. There you are. I see you.
Oh yeah, okay. Michael was talking about. I was mentioning that Michael was talking about Home Depot, and batteries yesterday had stopped, but Target does. I was thinking maybe it's batteries. Oh, you lose me again?
For just a second.
I looked it up. That the statement says Target stores have a guest recycling station located in the front of each store. The station is available for bottles and cans, aluminum, glass, and plastic beverage containers, plastic film. So that sounds like the plastic bags that take back their own Target bags, and bubble wrap. Wow.
Plastic wrap can also be the stuff that goes around, like your case of water. You've got the plastic wrap that goes around that. That's
Right.
usually what that means too. So
Yeah. And then it also takes small device electronics recycling. And then in parentheses, it says MP3 players, GPS devices, and ink cartridges.
Wow.
I don't see batteries on there though.
I'm going to Target. That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
even better reasons to shop, right?
I know.
We'll become millennials. If you were on last night, we'll become millennials like Amanda. And it's about the question about millennials and why why they do what they do, and it's important. And she said that she has the belief that yes, it's how you spend your dollar. So if you spend your dollar on items, then that's a vote for the right thing. So she was schooling us well last night. All right. So now we've got 3 more people. So David, you've been hanging out with us for a bit. How about you tell us about yourself, your program, and what things can we learn from you about recycling?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I work for the Business Center for Creative Collaboration for the Chickasaw Nation. And we actually have bins right outside our office where people drop off cardboard and other items. But we're also very fortunate that we have the styrofoam recycling facility in Ada. And so I commute from Norman, and I'll bring my personal styrofoam down here and drop it off. But we don't really have that in Norman, so I think periodically they ship it to where they can recycle it, but they don't have like a ongoing system like they do here in Ada. But the Chickasaw Nation has a really good program where if you get caught recycling, they have where you can get their picture, and then they'll put them up on the plasma screens in the employees area where you can get caught. It's called caught green-handed, and so we have some pretty good programs that that encourages people to recycle, and I think just getting the word out what can be recycled and what can't is really helpful. Like in that video with Michael Patton, the 7 different types, I wish that was posted all over the place, because we could really learn a lot from that, and what we can try to concentrate on purchasing for recycling, that kind of thing. But I actually live more towards Newcastle, and so they don't have a recycling program curbside. So we have to take our recycling into Norman ourselves and, separate it and drop it off there. But we always try to look for what we can recycle and whatnot. And I'm always telling my wife, make sure you clean that out, don't leave any milk in the milk jugs and that kind of thing. But so.
As a recycling facility, we appreciate that. The smell of sour milk is not a pleasant thing, no matter what time of the day it is.
Yeah.
I love the caught green-handed, David. That's great.
I have trouble with people, well, they want to recycle their cardboard, but they do not understand why you can't recycle a dirty pizza box.
Mhm.
Yes. And that goes by community. So some communities will take them and some communities will don't. And in our case, some of our vendors will and some of them won't. So always check. We are down to about an hour and 40 minutes. Boy, that went fast. You guys are great at helping move this along.
30 know that they may just move us into that second discussion area. Don't get vertigo.
There you go. Michelle, how about you? You want to tell us about your program and where you're from and what you recycle or what you hope to recycle if you weren't currently?
Hi, I'm in the city of Norman, and we have curbside recycling. Brett, of course, is you guys know Brett because he's on the board. He's the big cheerleader. I just started in my position August 13th, so that's pretty exciting. I moved from stormwater into the environmental and sustainability manager position. We
Awesome.
recycle 1 and 2 plastics. We don't take glass at the curb anymore, but we do have a bin at our permanent stations where people can bring glass. We take metal and cardboard and paper, of course. So I'm excited to work on reducing our contamination percents, because it's like 28% right now in Norman. So that'll be good. I would also like to point out that we're going to have a place to take styrofoam, because Kathy Bowden, who's a big activist here in Norman, created a program and got a grant to get a densifier. So that's something that I'm really excited about as well.
Well, I can tell you, Michelle, I get to work with stormwater too, and I much prefer recycling over stormwater. So you made the right switch at the right time.
I love them both. So that works. Yeah.
Well, thank you all for a great chat this morning. Jeanette and Trudy, I love your shirts. So glad to see you wearing your OKRA shirts. They look great. And you guys have a great rest of your morning.
You as well.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tracy.
Welcome.
Thanks. Great. Just wait to see the rest of us get moved around.
Right?
I know. I guess we got 2 minutes after we ran out of time. So
Maybe so. You guys may be stuck with me again.
Yeah.
That's okay. I bet we'll figure out something else to talk about.
Hey, we can talk about recycling all day long. That's what we do all the time, don't we?
Yes.
I've learned so much from this. I'm
It's
ready
one of my
to do
favorite.
a shop like Michael did last night. We
Oh
got
my
a local
gosh.
store that's gonna let us do that, and we are gonna so do it.
Sweet. I loved that video. I definitely think it needs to go on our website, and then
Yeah.
we'd all be able to share it, or not the website, the Facebook page, and then we all be able to share it and go from there.
Yeah, that
Absolutely.
video was actually helpful for me last night because I took it the things I learned when I went grocery shopping. So that was really cool.
Nice.
Very nice. Well, it made us think, actually, not only are we going to do a grocery store, but maybe even a paint store, because, you know, we have a fall cleanup coming up, and we take caustic paint on our hazardous day, but we don't take the latex. Since it's water-based, we try to inform every time